this tutorial, we'll look at how to actually parse and insert string in C#. To search for data, we actually need to parse the string's content. And to search for a subset of string, we can actually use a built-in contains method in C#, which I can show right here. So it's basically very easy. We can do console.writeLine, and then I can say, hey, hello world dot contains, and then I can say hello, right? And if I were to run this, you get it true, but just so you know that this is very case sensitive and also inefficient, because it's actually checking for every character, because it's iterating for every character until it finds this substring. So another way to actually iterate through a string is we can actually use a for loop. So to do that, what I can do is, let's say we do static void, and then I say parse string, and then let's say a string of s that we pass in as an argument. Here what I can do is for int I equals 0, and I is less than the length, and then I can do I plus plus. Now I can say, hey, character C equals to the s of I, and then I can say console.writeLine, and then I can pass in C. Now if I were to parse this string, so basically we are parsing a string by iterating, we can say run this code, and you can see that it actually parsed the whole string. Now let's say we want to check for certain characters, if certain characters are in the even index of the string, then we would need both the location and character within the string, right? So we would of course use the for loop, and to do that, what I can do is static void static. Actually, we want to pass in a boolean, and then we can say even index tick, and then we can say index s, and then we can say character, and then item. Now what I can do is we can pass into for int I equals 0 like before, and then I is less than s dot length. It is length, and then length, and then I can say I. Well, it used to be I plus plus, right? Now, since we are checking for even index within the string, if they are even indices, so what we can actually do is we can do I equals I plus 2, so that we don't have to iterate through every indices here. So we are skipping that, and in doing so, what it will happen is it will actually cut down the time complexity to half. And since we are doing I equals I plus 2, what we can do is the divided by 2 in here, I s divided s dot length divided by 2 plus 1 in here as well. Now in here, what I can do is if s of the I is equal to item that we are checking for, we can say, hey, return true, right? And let's say we went through this for loop and still didn't find anything. That means we didn't find the item, so we return false. Now another situation is, let's say the user pass in the empty string. If it's an empty string, then we definitely don't want to check for anything, and we just want to curve it right here by passing false, because you would not find anything in an empty string. So in that case, we would use the base method, which is we can do is I can say string is null or empty. This is actually built in here, and then we can just say return and then false. This way we're not checking against empty string. Now in here I actually wrote a test case prior to this video, so I'm gonna do, I can pass in all of this test case and check to see if H is on the even indices, if E is in the even indices, or if we pass in an empty string and check for E, what happens, right? So let's say I run the code, and you get that the first H, which is already at even indices, because if you look at the way it works, right, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, so 0, and then E is on the odd, so it definitely is false. Well, it's not even checking for E because it only checks for the places that has even indices, so it doesn't fall. But if you were to pass an empty string, it definitely goes to this base method and then just returns false. So this way we are not checking for it. Hopefully this makes sense to you. And please make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll be making more content related to algorithm data structures in the coming future, and I'll see you in the next video.